Before we dive into today's terrifying true account, take a quick second to subscribe, follow, like, and share. Your support keeps this channel alive and helps us uncover the darkest mysteries in history. Smash that notification bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next. We've all heard of the Amityville Horror. It's a household name, splashed across Hollywood screens and paperbacks, but today, it's widely known that the Amityville case was heavily dramatized for profit. But what if I told you there is another case? One that didn't rely on Hollywood fluff. A case so deeply disturbing, so intensely scrutinized, that it drew the attention of journalists and the legendary paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Welcome to West Pittston, Pennsylvania. The year is 1974, and this is the story of the Smurl Poltergeist. It started with the mundane. Jack and Janet Smurl, along with their children, moved into what they thought was a peaceful double-block home. They wanted a fresh start. Instead, they walked into a living nightmare. At first, the house seemed to reject them in subtle, bizarre ways. A television inexplicably exploded. A brand new sink was discovered deeply, violently scratched, as if by claws. Then came the stench. A suffocating, overwhelming odor of rotting flesh would suddenly fill the rooms out of nowhere, choking the air before vanishing just as fast. But a mere poltergeist doesn't stay quiet for long. Soon, the entity grew hungry, and its targets became the living. The activity turned violently physical. The family's dog was repeatedly snatched by unseen forces and hurled violently against the walls. Then, the entity went after the children. The Smurl's young daughter was forcefully pushed down a flight of stairs by hands no one could see. Jack Smurl bore the brunt of the entity's darkest malice. He reported being physically assaulted in the dead of night, waking up to the terrifying sensation of being levitated above his own bed. Towering over him was a shadowy, faceless entity, a manifestation of pure, calculated hatred. Desperate, the Smurls turned to the Roman Catholic Church. Priests arrived. They conducted multiple blessings and intense exorcisms on the home. For a brief moment, there would be silence. The family would breathe a sigh of relief, but the peace was a lie. The entity was only resting, returning each time with a greater, more vengeful fury. Skeptics, of course, claimed it was all a hoax, a bid for attention. But the neighborhood knew better. On multiple occasions, crowds of witnesses gathered outside the double-block home. They watched as the Smurl family stood terrified on their front lawn. And from inside the empty house, the neighbors could clearly hear blood-curdling screams, demonic growling, and the sound of heavy furniture being crashed against the walls. The haunting dragged on for 15 agonizing years, finally subsiding around 1989. The Smurls eventually moved away, but the scars remained. Was it a collective delusion, or did something truly demonic stake its claim in West Pittston? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Sleep well tonight, if you can. What specific aspect of the Smurl case do you find most compelling? The physical attacks, or the fact that the neighbors witnessed it too?